Hello everyone. Do you still remember my face, my voice after not hearing much, seeing much from me over the past year? Well, I'm sorry for that, but my therapist says I shouldn't be sorry. I am, but I'm not sorry about the changes this year has brought for me. And while I on the verge of a new year, still do not know what the future will bring and what I will take from the future. Um, I wanted to, thank you most of all for sticking with me and uh, teaching me patience with myself. By, for some of you, going out of, I forgot the proper English word, um, doing everything and more they could to make me feel loved and wanted and accepted. I started learning this for myself, like accepting myself and accepting what I can do and maybe even what I don't want to do. Of course, a lot of diagnoses and of failings of my own body as kind of the final reddest flag my system could give me at all to override my decisiveness. The ultimate red flag being my decisiveness being turned off, which I didn't know the body could do. It could, and it was scary but very educating. And I forgot how this sentence started. Well, what I've learned is that there's reasons for things I can't do. There's reasons for things I don't want to do even, and that I put a lot of effort and time and even money into trying to make me do these things, and also in trying to teach me things I can do, and sometimes to pay people to do the things I couldn't do but felt they had to be done. Sometimes that's true, sometimes it wasn't. It was just my trying to make everything right that suggested to me that these things had to be done. Well, sorry for rambling as well. It is in a way weird to get acknowledged to a new me that is rather old me that's quite chaotic and not very structured, that's very intuitive and not very planned, that is very spontaneous and not very outgoing all through this, while having cultivated a different me that hasn't died or disappeared on stage and in other situations. So all these versions of me are still there, of course. And mm, I'm uncertain but willing to find my access to these traits and personality patterns again, but by letting them take over in a way, by letting my goals and my discipline take over instead of my self-awareness for so many years, for way longer years than I had ever anticipated, before learning so much only in the past weeks again. By doing so, I made myself do a lot of things that were not good for me, and also a lot of things in a way that were not good for me. And while I'm still proud of the discipline I used for this, And while I still think that many of the things I made, I'm proud of, and I still am, and I think I will always be, um, would not exist in this form if I hadn't been so rigid with myself, so detail oriented, so meticulous, so much of a pain in the ass for people who worked with me. And so yeah, that's all right. And I learned so much, and I like to think that also a lot of people have learned things from me during all this work. This work is part of me, and it always was, and it will be. Um, while I still have to take great care of my body and the things it gives me, while even trying to learn to translate them. I still do not make music, and that feels weird. I try not to feel sad about it, and I try not to press myself, because the last times I pressed myself to perform or to make music, to practice, or to try and write some music or produce it, did not end well. So all these very few happenstances during 2024 ended in major crises for me, and in even more pain and things that just broke in my brain or my body. And yeah, I am still learning of taking care of myself. I mean, would you ever have expected me to talk in this kind of tempo, like not not running, not rushing my own speech? This is why, because I will not edit this video. I will not shorten it, and I will not cut out passages that feel for me like indecisive or um, mm, well, thinking pauses, because that's what they are. And maybe that is the one resolution I have for myself for the new year. Why, while people are trying to burn up themselves outside of my window already, making more pauses to think, to be self aware. Self awareness is what I need to learn. And this thought still feels very unfamiliar to me and very strange, because I always thought I had a good self awareness. Now I know that was wrong. What I had was a very strict picture of how I should be, how I should feel, what I should feel and know about myself. And I tried to fit into this picture, which I adjusted all the time, of course, with growing older, with adjusting my goals and my values. But still, I only saw what straight from this picture, what did not fit the pattern. And then I tried to correct that. What was inside my own norms and didn't stand out much, I ignored or pushed away to the back until I couldn't do that anymore. And um, well, I could have learned all this with a lot less pain and early in my life, but I think at this point in my life, it was the only way for things of me just stopping to cooperate to get to this point, to realize that I can't do everything, and that there is things that are hard for me, that actually there are things that are hard for every person, that every person has things that are hard to them, and some of them we can push ourselves through, but definitely not all of them, and we shouldn't and we mustn't, because the body takes a toll, and at some point, yeah, some thing of you might just break if it has been strained too much for decades. And while a lot of this can be fixed, it's probably not a good idea to keep up with the same self-delusions that led to the breaking of parts. So, yeah, this resolution of pauses, of thinking, of self-awareness is definitely that. It is trying to find my own borders, not the borders I thought society had told me I would need to have. That is difficult. But yeah, we never stop learning, right? In other news, I already told you I have started writing again, writing as in text, not in music yet. And it might actually be a book. And yeah, I'm still insecure whether I want to tell you the plots I have in my mind now, because I'm very sure that will change. Also, it's about 3 or 4 different plots together, and also incorporating some things I wrote earlier and never knew how to fit them into a bigger picture. So just like the Doll's House, I think everything I write will be like everything I ever wrote, like a Russian doll. Many things packed into each other, and you might be able to get through to the core doll, or maybe not, or maybe only in a few years. But I hope it will be nice to look at from the outside. The topics will be artificial intelligence, self-perception, world perception, linear and non-linear time perception, and a general view on humanity from the outside. So pretty much what I've been talking about for the last few decades. And opposed to the Doll's House, there will be a central figure, but and this central figure will have several different incarnations, like the central figure in the Doll's House, but there will be a lot of dialogue. So most of what I've written in November are dialogues. I started this to find out what I was writing about actually, but also to challenge myself, because, well, dialogue is hard. And I always felt that I had to put more dialogue in the Doll's House. In the end, I knew why there wasn't much of dialogue, and everything is right about the Doll's House. But yeah, I wanted a new challenge, and so, but I'm challenging myself is a good sign, I guess. That means I am starting to crawl out of my hole of exhaustion, which I had never expected to be possible. To experience exhaustion so deep, beyond everything that is being tired or being fed up, or even beyond I just can't anymore. I had no idea how exhausted I could be. And I hope I can avoid that point in the future and not press myself into it while writing this book and while trying to get back into being a musician. So I'll be careful. And yeah, careful is a beautiful word, much better than the German vorsichtig. I will take care of myself, take care of you, take care of my works, take care of my family, take care of my environments, and again, take care of myself. I will try. Well, and you have taught me how to care for me, so I might as well learn it from you. I wish you a great new year, and may it bring a harvest of what you've sown in the past. And may we all meet in happiness, peace, joy, and good health. See you next year. Love you. Bye.